Hey guys, welcome back to How to Roll Dice. I'm Josh, and for today's daily dive, I wanted to show you a handful of new games that we've purchased, as well as give a quick shout out to a local gaming store, the Comic Store up in Nashua, New Hampshire. John, the guy who owns and operates the store, is planning on making some changes to the store, and in an effort to reduce inventory during those changes, he's having a huge sale. All board games and a handful of other categories of stuff are 40% off everything. A lot of different things are included, Pathfinder materials and different items throughout the store. It's a giant store. There's comic books, vintage and modern. There's trading card games, Magic, Pokemon, living card games, giant board game selection, collectible figurines, miniatures, pop culture items, pop figurines, model cars, gunpla. It's a giant store. He's got tons of stuff. I don't know what is and isn't part of the sale. I can tell you for sure all board games are 40% off, as is Pathfinder stuff, and nothing GW is on sale. Nothing. I'm assuming because their prices are already set so close to his sort of like market value that he can't afford to take anything off of them without screwing himself. But all board games, 40% off, massive selection. Definitely, if you can get there. It's Nashua, New Hampshire, right off exit 4 or 5, depending on which direction you're coming from, off of Route 3. So if you're in New Hampshire, if you're in Massachusetts, even if you're in like the southern Maine or Vermont areas, it's probably worth swinging down and taking a look because it's a great opportunity. 40% off is huge. There were actually 5 different games that I was interested in picking up. Actually 6 really. But we decided to grab these 3 for now, and we would go back in a week or two and see if the other 3 were still there, and we would grab them because even at 40% off, 6 games is a lot of money. And so these are the 3 that we grabbed. The first one here is Horrified American Monsters. This is a game that Bryant picked up, and this is by Ravensburger. Now, this is actually sort of not a remake, but this came out almost alongside the original Horrified, or very close to it, by Ravensburger. The original one is all of the original sort of MGM horror movie monsters. So Dracula, the Wolfman, Creature from the Black Lagoon, the Mummy, Frankenstein, and Frankenstein's Bride. And it's almost like Arkham Horror. The players are playing as a group of investigators who are running around this small town, this like 1940s, 1950s Americana town, attempting to save the citizens of the town from the specific monster that you're fighting against during that game. You can choose which one you go against. All of the monsters have special abilities and effects and different interesting mechanics that are unique to them that sort of define how you have to defeat them. It's a really fun game. It's not complicated. It's fun to play. I would even say it's almost family friendly. It's a solid game. Bryant wanted to grab this one because it is the American Monsters edition, which instead of the MGM classic movie monsters, you've now got the Jersey Devil, Bigfoot, Mothman, the Chupacabra, different like monsters from American lore and culture. And so that's kind of a fun spin on a game that we already like. We haven't played a ton of Horrified, but we've played it 2 or 3 times. We've enjoyed it. We're probably going to play this another 2 or 3 times and then do a review on sort of the 2 games as a whole, because they do play basically the same. You're just switching out the monsters. Next, he was actually interested in grabbing this game, and I was going to let him, but then he decided to go with Horrified because it's a bit cheaper. This is about $45, so we got it for about $25. This game here, Blood Rage, is actually a very highly rated game by Cool Mini or Not. I don't know if they're still called Cool Mini or Not, or if it's just Kumon or whatever, or Kumon, I don't know how you would say that, but it's abbreviated CMON. And this is by the same company that makes Rising Sun, and it's actually a very similar looking game when you look at the components that come in the box. But anyways, getting to the point, this is Blood Rage. And this, I believe, is currently rated something like 40th overall on BoardGameGeek.com, which is very highly rated. And I don't know much about the game other than, to me, looking at the back of the box, it looks like Rising Sun, except instead of samurai, it looks like Vikings. Or it is Vikings. Very clearly Vikings. And this is much more highly rated than Rising Sun, and we enjoy Rising Sun. And Brian's 2 favorite things are like traditional classical samurai and traditional classical Viking mythologies and warriors and fighting styles. Those are like his favorite things. So we already have all of Rising Sun. Buying this is just like an obvious option. This is normally $80, so I want to say we got it for like $46. I don't want to do the quick math in my head and get it wrong, but somewhere around $45, $50 is what we paid for that, which is a steal. Also, I wanted to show you the back of the Horrified American Monsters box. There you go. You can see across the bottom, those are the American monsters that you'll be interacting with and hunting and trying to defeat in that game. And then lastly, I ended up picking up a copy of a game that I've wanted to buy forever and just have been putting off. I don't really know why. And that is Power Grid, this game right here. This is actually the Deluxe box, the 10-year anniversary Deluxe box. This is Europe and North America. It's a double-sided board. So on one side, you've got Europe, other side, you've got North America. And if you've never seen Power Grid, you are basically attempting to develop a national national or international, depending on if you're in Europe, power grid, which is comprised of the different types of energy production facilities and the necessary pipelines and sort of infrastructure to move that power across the country or across the region in which you're building it. It's an auction-based game because you're bidding for the new technologies and the new energy plants and resources every round, and then you're sort of facilitating plugging them into the map and trying to deal with going around or cutting off other players' infrastructure. It's a 2 to 6 player game. It's been around for quite a while. Like I said, this is the 10-year anniversary. The Deluxe edition gives you a bunch of nice new wooden components. I believe the board is also slightly bigger, and all of the components are just of slightly nicer quality. This is normally $80, and again, we got it for like $45-50. And so solid haul. The other 2 games or 3 games that I'm interested in picking up are they have Isle of Skye, which is just outside of the top 100. I want to say it's around 150, but it's a very, it almost looks like Clans of Caledonia. It's a bit dull and not beige, but like bland in its color pattern. It looks like, you know, your typical German style. We're not going for flash. We're going for strategy and content and crunch. That's a game I've wanted to pick up for a while. They also had a copy of Twilight Imperium, except it was 3rd edition. I know John did have a 4th edition box there, but I'm assuming somebody snatched that up as soon as the sale started. So they had 2 3rd edition boxes. They also have the full starter box, or maybe it's the whole game, I don't know, of A Song of Ice and Fire, the miniatures tabletop game that several people have recommended that I buy now if I'm looking for a miniatures game that you can kind of buy all at once that plays nicely and doesn't have like an ever running list of miniatures that you have to purchase. They have that box there. I might end up grabbing that. They also have a copy of Istanbul, which is a game that I'm interested in buying, but not like over the moon with buying, because I just, after having watched reviews of it and read about it, I don't know if I'm going to be in love with it or not, but it's a highly rated game. Again, I want to say it's within or just outside of the top 100. It might be near the top end. Both Power Grid and Blood Rage are well within the top 100. Horrified is more just a game that we know we like, and Bryant really wanted to expand and get the American Monsters box set, so we have that. But yeah, and then there were 1 or 2 other games that I might pick up while we're there, and a ton of different card games that I still have to go through because the boxes are so small you can easily miss them. I'm not going to buy any Munchkin or anything like that, but they had a bunch of like Arkham Horror card game expansion boxes and a handful of other things. So we'll be going back and we'll be perusing probably on a weekly basis until the sale ends, and then of course we'll still be frequenting the store and buying from John whenever we can because he's a great guy and we love the shop. But yeah, this is what we picked up. Probably be going back to get a few more soon. If you guys see this video, if you've played A Song of Ice and Fire or Fire and Ice, I don't know if I have that wrong. I know it's based off of Game of Thrones. That's like the title of the actual novels as opposed to the show. If you guys have played it or seen it played or have some input on it, whether you liked it or didn't like it, what you think about it, is it a good deal if you're just looking for a lot of miniatures? Let me know in the comments down below, because I've gotten that recommended to me 2 or 3 times on 2 or 3 separate videos talking about miniatures games and the style of miniature game I'm looking for. So if you have an opinion on that, please share it with me, because there's 1 box of it there, and if it's worth picking up, maybe I will. But anyways, hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Hope you're having a good day, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good night.